In this video, we will be talking about part number 10 of the no-cost product launch, and we will be covering traffic methods. In the previous video, we just discussed some methods and strategies for recruiting affiliates to promote your product. That's by far going to be the best traffic source. You're going to get the most traffic, more than likely the best quality traffic as well. So you're going to want to really focus on recruiting your affiliate partners. There's absolutely no upfront cost. You only pay them a commission after they've made a sale. So that means you've made money first in the process. Press releases is another really good way to get traffic, especially for a product launch. You can do the phrase submit press release free, and you could do an example like look at an example like prlog.org. And again, this is subject to change, but if you Google submit press release free, you're going to find an updated list of new and fresh press release sites that you can submit to. prlog.org has been around a very long time. It's a great place to submit your free content. It's a really good way to get your name out there, to get your brand out there, and have people find you on the internet. Blogging is another really good strategy. So with blogging, you're creating high quality articles related to your topic. You could use a tool like nichesuggest.com to come up with keyword ideas to use for your blog content. What nichesuggest.com does is it goes out there and it pulls all the keywords that people search for within Google that may not be found from Google's new keyword planner tool. But basically, as you're putting in a search something into the search box, typically you'll see Google will suggest some ideas. Well, the tool Niche Suggest, it actually helps you go out and find keyword ideas that people have put into those Google search boxes. And so that's a really neat free tool. You can sign up for a free account, type in your niche, so if it's golf, if it's relationships, and then see what kind of keywords people are looking for related to those phrases. You could create blog content around those, or video content, or any number of things. Just to go one step ahead on the press release example, one other point with press releases, what they do and what they accomplish for you is it's a great way to distribute and get information out there about your brand. So you can use, your product launch name, your name to kind of build up your credibility, and you can really build that up with press releases. Another thing within blogging, again, you could use Google or Bing search recommendations if you don't want to use a free tool like Niche Suggest, and you can actually find that at the very bottom of the search results, very bottom on Google. Typically, it's on the right-hand side of Bing. They'll say recommended, phrases, or people also searched for this. And just by doing that and typing in your niche phrase into the search boxes, you can come up with additional content that you could create for your blog. And you could do a blog on blogger.com, you could do a blog on tumblr.com, and I would recommend one of these two. They're really good blogging platforms. They're free, and they do enable you to actually go out there, pre-sell your content, give good information, generate a following, generate some traffic. You could even integrate some list building, especially on the Blogger, like in the sidebar. And then what you could do is send those people to your product. So these are more long-term traffic methods apart from recruiting affiliates. You could also search online for create a free blog to find more blogs that you could create. Squidoo is another great place. It's where people in your niche market are hanging out. You can create what's called a lens or a hub, and it's relevant to your content. That's relevant to your content of your actual product. You can create this on Squidoo. It's a highly popular website with high amounts of traffic, and it gets really good results, and typically they can actually rank well in the search engines for your keywords. So you could use a combination of keywords like niche suggest, or going to Google and Bing and coming up with search ideas that people look for, and you could create a lens on squidoo.com around those phrases. And this kind of content, they're looking for short articles. You could post videos. It doesn't even have to be your own videos. You could just post irrelevant amounts of content, and then you could actually, in the resources section, you could create a link resources section and link to your sales page for your offer, or link to your own squeeze page or landing page to build up your following. So use high quality content that you write or create that's unique. You could take videos. You could actually put in polls, like how many of you have lost more than 5 pounds before. Do different polls like that. You could let people interact with comments, really build value on those pages as well. So those are really good sources of traffic. A few other ideas here. You've got hubpages.com. It's another place you can do content marketing. Docstalk.com. You can turn articles that you've done into PDFs and submit them here. Same thing with slideshare.net as well. ezinearticles.com, they're still and always looking for quality, unique articles and content. It's a really good way to brand yourself. And at the very end of the article, you could send a link to your squeeze page or landing page. And then on that, you could then forward them over to your product, or you could just send them straight to purchase your product for more information. These articles are loaded with your niche audience. You're going to find tons of people on these sites like Hub Pages, which is again similar to Squidoo, Docs Talk, Slideshare.net, eZine Articles. Articles Base is another one. You could also do a Google search or a search on Bing or Yahoo for the phrase, your niche, and then submit content, and your niche or submit article. And you could use the quotes where I have them. So like niche, you would type in golf and then submit content in quotes, or golf, submit article. That's going to bring up websites that come up in the search engines that actually have the actual phrase on their website, submit content, but they're related to golfing. And so that's going to tell you, hey, this is a targeted blog or website where I could submit content to. And it's another great way you can generate a good following and get attraction for your product and services. Video marketing. This is where you create keyword rich videos from your articles to repurpose the content. There's lots of videos out there that you could create to maximize your content. So you would want to create, small, short little videos related to your content that answer questions that your niche has. You could also be controversial. If your product's related to, certain hot button that's going on in the current events or current news, you could be controversial to really try and draw attention. And just be careful there. You don't want to go too overboard, but there are some things you can do to really get out there and get exposure. You could go to do social bookmarking as well. That would actually social bookmark like your videos, your articles, your stuff on Hub Pages or Squidoo to help get those indexed. And you can use a tool called socialmarker.com, which has an updated list. And you're going to find some of those links may or may not work, but you're going to find a list of social bookmarking sites that you could at least submit to. You could bookmark things like your videos and your articles. You could tweet your content as well for faster indexing. So we highly recommend having a Twitter account, and you could actually send a tweet out to your video. So if you create a video, you could take your video link and send a tweet about it. If you do a press release, you could take your press release link and send a tweet out there about that. Community involvement. This is really important as well for getting more traffic. You could do blog commenting. So use Google Blog Search to find new blog posts to comment on within your niche market. Comment right away, and what you're going to find is you're going to be getting your content out there, and you don't have to sell yourself in there because they're not going to approve your comment. But by doing that, you're getting yourself exposure because there's a niche following that follows that content. You could join Facebook groups in your niche market as well and get involved in those kind of groups. You could also join forums in your niche and ask questions and give answers and have a link to your website in the signature file if they allow it. And those are the only kind of forums I would participate in personally, is the ones that allow you to have a signature link, because otherwise all your involvement, if you're doing it just for marketing, now if you're doing it just as a hobby or for fun, that's fine. But if you want to monetize it, then make sure they have a signature link so that people could link to your sales page, or more importantly, they could link to your free blog or a free page on your blog or website like Wix.com or one of those, where they could actually opt in and join your email list. So these are just the elements. It's now time to get out there and start generating some traffic. Use some of these methods, apply a couple of them, do a press release, maybe send a tweet out about it to get it indexed, and just work on creating consistent content. Be consistent with your traffic. Create really good content. It's going to help pre-sell you to your users. You're going to find people may come across you on eZine articles. They may come across you on YouTube. No matter which platform you're on, if you're producing good content and good value related to your niche market, they're going to find that, hey, I want to learn more about this person, or I want to get more insight into this solution that they're offering. And so they may end up on your list, which you could send it to your product, or they may go straight to your product sales page. So get out there, start creating some good content and making things happen.